I'm just kicking back in the Brawley for now. It's kind of a windy, crappy day out here. But, we've had a good fishing morning. And recently, I had posted in our last kind of unboxing and update and what's happening video that I got my hands on a new rod, a 3.5 test curve Daiwa G50 Black Widow. Amazing rod, love it. Now, at the time that I had posted that, I hadn't yet used it. I didn't get the opportunity to use it until the big event that we recently fished, the Shimano Canada Carp Cup. And that's when I really got to feel what a fish is like on that rod, feel it for casting. But just before that event, so right after that video was released, the update video, we had a question on Facebook. Now, I apologize if I say your last name wrong. Kevin Zeh, Z-E-H. Kevin actually asked us if we could do a review of the 3.5 test curve rod, seeing as it's something that he's looking to upgrade to from his 3s. I will tell you right off the bat, right now, if you're fishing a location where you want to hit more distance or chase some larger fish, I can say wholeheartedly now, upgrading to 3.5 is definitely worth it. So far this past weekend, having gotten to use it at the event and just fishing with it this morning, this rod has handled a lot of fish. I think I've had, between last weekend and today, I've had 18 fish going from low doubles right up over 30 pounds. So it's definitely got the power to handle the big fish, and it's still got a nice little battle curve for some of the smaller fish. Now, I'll get to a casting demonstration shortly. I'll just plunk on a 2.5 ounce distance lead and I'll just blast it out there. We'll wrap it up on the sticks and we'll see just how far I got it out there. We know that my average cast, when I really push it hard with a 3 pound test curve, I've been able to get myself up to about 80 yards, 85 yards, and that's about where I'm maxing out. So we'll see, 1 or 2 casts what I hit with the 3.5 here today. Now, there's a couple of things I'll touch on, some issues that I ran into with some of the first fish I fought, because I did lose the first couple of fish I had on with this rod, and there's particular reasons why. What I've found is that I'm used to playing the curve of the rod, expecting that certain amount of give that a 3 pound test curve has, or even lighter. And that just goes back to my trout fishing days. I'm used to playing the curve of the rod to, help support some of that line. So when a fish takes a good lunge, I'm expecting the rod to have some of that give. 3.5 doesn't have as much give. So in that particular case, a fish could take a really good lunge, and if your drag's not set right down, the stiffness of the rod might cause a hook pull. So something to keep in mind. In the particular case of the event, we had to run braid, just for the nature of the waters we were fishing. And braid also has no give. So we have no give in the line, what I'm accustomed to give in the mono or the fluoro-coated mono that I use. A lot less give in the rod. So when those fish were taking lunges, hook pull. I think I lost 3 or 4 fish right off the bat, until I realized having the drag set looser than I would normally. Oh, there's a bump. So that while I'm playing the fish, there's still that little bit of turn coming from the spool, and then if it has a lunge, the drag is ready to just let go. So instead of locking it up where I would be able to try kind of muscle the fish and have a little bit of give in the rod or in the line, just loosening the drag off a little bit. Once I did that and playing the fish in, even giving a good muscle to it, just letting that spool turn just that little bit, made all the difference in the world. And once I made that adjustment, my fish started hitting the net. Again today, I tried locking it up a little bit tighter, fishing in this big open space, thinking that maybe I had it covered. And I didn't lose it, but you could feel the lunge really wasn't having any give whatsoever. The battle curve was nice, but it wasn't enough to really absorb the shock. And I don't want to tear the fish's mouth, so adjusting the drag to be a little bit looser than you would play a fish normally will help cover that lack of shock or lack of shock absorption that you would normally get from your line, or from a lighter rod. So overall, review of the 3.5 test curve, absolutely fantastic. Exactly what I needed for where my fishing seems to be going. If you fish a lot of small waters and not large fish, stick with the 3. But as you upgrade to larger waters, further casting distances and bigger fish, 3.5 definitely the step to make. So I think what we'll do next, probably after my next bite, I'll get the distance sticks out, I'll slap on a 2.5 or 3 ounce distance lead, and we will bomb a couple casts out into this big open bay that we're in. A nice safe place where I don't have to worry about hitting anything or anyone. And we'll see what kind of distances I can reach. Okay, well, just unclipping now. So I'm still relatively new to distance casting. Obviously upgrading the rod is the first part of that. Also using braid helps with that. And that nice little bomb there, a 2.5 ounce lead, cast as hard as I could. Obviously not the best form. 31.5 wraps. So that should be in and around like 126 or just over that yards. So what I'm going to do is I've just unclipped it, I'm going to reel this up, I'm going to try one more cast and wrap it up, see if I can get a little bit further, and yeah, quite pleased. Definitely, you know, with a rig on that it's not going to go quite as far, but with practice maybe I could fish effectively at that range. There we go, I've done 2 casts. First cast was 31.5 wraps. Second cast with my Black Widow 12 foot 3.5 test curve G50 was 32.5 wraps. So I only added an extra 4 yards to my second cast, so I'd say that that's probably maxing out my range for the time being until I get more practice. But I can definitely say throwing some braid on there for the thinner diameter will definitely add a few yards to your cast, but the stiffer rod makes a world of difference. So there you go, Kevin. You asked for a review of this rod. I would say I covered it all, I hope. If you have any more questions about it, shoot me a message on the Facebook page, and I'll do my best to answer it. But I am very pleased with this rod, and I look forward to getting more fish with it. I also look forward to doing more casting. Like, that's awesome. 32.5 wraps. Hey, for more videos like you just saw, just click on the links right over here. And to subscribe to our channel and keep up with the latest updates and newest videos, just click the logo on the screen.